John Harvey Kellogg was just 12 years old when he went to work for the first family of the Adventist Church. He was given the task of typesetting Ellen G. White's book, An Appeal to Mothers, which spoke only of the responsibility of mothers deterring their children from masturbation.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's Mitch, and I'm out here in the morning sun, which I really enjoy, to record a little intro for this series of videos that I'm going to make, just showing you exactly how we got in this sad state of affairs in the human race in general, and why we're killing ourselves based on fraud, corruption, greed, religion, politics, and so many other factors that it's actually hard to believe that this all came together to end up with the world's population increasing the amount of chronic diseases 3 and 4 times what it was 50 or 60 years ago, in spite of everybody trying to do what they're told, because what they're being told is just wrong. I hope that when we get done, when we get through with this whole exercise over the next week or maybe 2 weeks, that you'll be as absolutely flaming angry as I am about what illness and suffering they have caused, not only for us, but for our loved ones too. It's in that anger, which I think is necessary, where you'll get the resolve to know that what your doctor's telling you, that what the government's telling you is utter and complete bullshit, and you won't let it kick you off of your diet because of doubt and fear, which is why I can imagine every one of you watching this particular series has had this happen to you in the past. If you hadn't previously failed, we all wouldn't be here right now. So take this stuff to heart, watch the videos that I'll direct you to, and then watch them again. Convince yourself that you're right and the majority is wrong, and you'll succeed like I did. All right, here we go. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Hey Google, how much did Americans spend on health care last year?
According to American Medical Association, trends in healthcare spending. Health spending in the U.S. increased by 2.7% in 2021 to $4.3 trillion or $12,914 per capita.
I think it was a confluence of hundreds, if not thousands, of different events that happened. Corruption, opportunism. There's a lot of players involved. But the beginnings of this come from 2 main directions. The first one is religious, and that's where our friend Ellen G. White comes in. The second direction it comes from is Ansel Keys and his crackpot idea that all this fat floating around in our veins causes heart attacks, so we shouldn't eat fat. And that began the era of the high-carb junk food business, and, look what happened. So I think that we'll start with Ellen G. White, because that happened quite a while ago, and I'm going to turn myself sideways here because I got to read off this monitor, so I think that's a good profile. Ellen G. White, and this is Wikipedia, and you can Google it. That's how I found out most of this stuff. I Googled it, I watched other people's videos, and took advantage for the knowledge that was there from their amazing hard work, and in a minute or two, we're going to get to the first one of those. But in the meantime, let's just find out a little bit about Ellen Gould White. Born November 26, 1827, died in 1915, was an American author and co-founder of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. White claimed to have received over 2,000 visions and dreams from God. She verbally described and published for public consumption the content of each vision. And this stuff is out there if you care to look at it. And it is otherworldly. The Adventist pioneers viewed these experiences as the biblical gift of prophecy, as outlined in Revelation 12:17 and Revelation 19:10, which describe the testimony of Jesus as the spirit of prophecy. Her Conflict of the Ages series of writing endeavored to showcase the hand of God in biblical history and church history, this cosmic and on and on and on and on and on. Ellen White, basically, and you'll see in the video I'm going to direct you to very soon, Ellen White said God told her that humans should eat from the Garden of Eden, and that the consumption of meat gives men impure thoughts and leads to masturbation, and that a vegetarian diet was the way to go, and Ellen became pretty much the first vegan when they started this religion. And what that has grown into today at the end of this series will amaze you. The name Belinda and Gary Fettke, F-E-T-K-E, should become very familiar to you in the future of what you're going to learn about why you're doing this way of life. Gary Fettke was a surgeon and a doctor who, well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and Google. Let's go ahead and Google Gary Fettke here. So we're going to say Gary, Belinda Fettke. There's Belinda Fettke. And this is a website called I Support Gary, because Gary Fettke became the target years ago of a bunch of vegans and vegetarians down under when he started recommending people go on a low-carb diet, and they tried to ruin him. And that case became a world landmark, and it was fought for years and years and years. And Gary Fettke finally won out. So here's a website called isupportgary.com, which is he and his wife Belinda. And this is all about that fight and about the stories that were told. But his persecution was one of the craziest things. And the whole persecution was backed by all of the big money that was being made off of these high-carb foods. They want to cancel anybody that has a message that says that the high-carb processed foods are not good for you and you should not eat them. Well, you can't say that. You just can't say that. Belinda Fettke is his wife. She became active in researching for Gary's case. And over the years, she has compiled tremendous evidence about the corruption, about the origins, especially going back to Ellen G. White. And she made a video. And this video has 56,000 views. That's it. It has 56,000 views. It's been up for years. and it's gotten 56,000 views. Now that has to tell you that nobody knows this stuff. My how to throw it chuck roast in a slow cooker video in 3 weeks has over 100,000 views. So information as important to us, to give us knowledge and ammunition when our doctors try to scare us out of what we're doing that is saving our lives. The knowledge that's in this and the discovery that's in this video is required knowledge. And yet, that video got half the videos, the views in 3 years as my chuck roast video got in a couple of weeks. I don't know what that says for humanity, but when I first saw this video years ago, it made me mad. And it was one of the driving forces that helped me put together this philosophy that I have now and discover what I think are the reasons that people pretty much always fail on this diet in this environment. And it's the strategy that I put together that I used for myself, and it has worked because I'm unshakable now. I cannot be convinced by a doctor or anybody else because at this point I know more than they do about the subject. So watch this video. There'll be a link right at the beginning of the show notes, and pick a time to watch it where you can actually think about it and when you can concentrate on it, because this in itself should do the trick of getting you over that hump where you're not going to be afraid anymore. And if it does that, watch it again. I've watched it 20 times. I still pick out little things. Watch it again. There's going to be many more of this kind of information coming down the pike, because this is the information that taught me. I didn't do these investigations. I didn't dig up all this obscure stuff. I watched this video, and it started me thinking in different directions. It changed my area of exploration, helped me come up with my final how to do this thing right philosophy, and I'm trying to pass that on. So watch the video. We're going to talk about this. Today is Friday, and we're going to talk about this Tuesday night on my upcoming live stream. And between now and then, I might put out another video in this series, but this is not going to be every day. This is what I'm telling you today, place to start. This is what I want you to do so you can learn what I learned. Don't just listen to me. Check it out. And when we come back, we'll talk about it a little bit and we'll go on to the next step. I think that would be like a course curriculum. And I think if you're going to learn something as fabulously complicated as how we got here, I don't think you can do it in a 5-minute video. I didn't. So with that, watch the video, Belinda Fettke, and watch some of her other videos too. Every one of her videos is great. Go and watch Gary Fettke's video on the same subject. Watch as many videos as you can about the early history. I'm talking about the mid-1800s. I'm talking about before even John Harvey Kellogg came into the picture, because he's the next one. We're going to jump from Ellen G. White to John Harvey Kellogg and the Battle Creek Sanitarium and the Adventists' role in that to make the world vegans, because everybody knows red meat makes men masturbate. Who knew? Well, with that, I'll give you the rest of the day off for today. Do your homework, and I'll see you in the next one. So, eat meat.